the old money aesthetic. Known for its understated sophistication, classy look, timeless pieces, and quality fabrics. It calls you broke in an accent which even the best Englishman finds hard to understand.
Loro piana. Massimo Dutti.
However, even if you are broke, you can afford to live this way if you choose the right clothes. There are really 4 fundamentals to the old money aesthetic. The first fundamental is that you need to cut out all logos. There are some exceptions here that I'll go into later, but all big flashy logos on your clothes need to go away. When I say logos, I also mean designs. Graphic tees are out of here. Graphic jackets are out of here. Remember, we're looking to be as elegant as possible and be as classy and simple as possible. Now, the second rule is that you want to stick to the neutral colors. The reason we want to stick to the neutral colors is because they blend very well together, and like I said previously, they aren't loud. We're looking to be understated here. Some people also call the old money aesthetic the quiet luxury aesthetic because of how simple and how quiet it actually is. So for our colors, we actually want to stick to a neutral color palette, this being whites, blacks, charcoals, beiges, khakis, navies, camel. These colors are perfect, and right here I have a big list of all of the neutral colors, which would be perfect to use. Now, the third rule you need for the old money aesthetic is you need your clothes to fit you absolutely perfectly. This aesthetic was originally formed because people with money would get their clothes tailored. You want to get that tailored look, and even if you can't afford a tailor to tailor your clothes for you, you just want to make sure your clothes fit you as best as possible. There's lots of choices out there, which I'll go into later. Now, the last part of the old money aesthetic is where budget really comes into play, and that's the material of your clothes. The true old money aesthetic loves to use amazing materials such as cashmere, camel, wool, even cotton can be considered a high quality material. But, some people may not have the budget for these materials, which is where in the budget section, we will go over polyester materials and cotton materials and how we can make those into still elegant looking old money aesthetic style. Now, starting off with arguably the most important piece of the old money aesthetic is the pants. Now, a lot of people get confused with pants because they aren't typical jeans that old money aesthetic people wear. Now, one thing I can recommend for everyday casual wear is a good pair of chinos that fits well, whether that be slim fit, straight fit, or relaxed fit, whichever fits you perfectly. I recommend going into a store and trying on different pairs to see what size you are and what fit looks the best for your body. Now, aside from chinos, you are going to need a few other things. One thing that you're definitely going to need is a pair of nice dress pants or suit pants. I recommend getting these in either black or white because these are the most versatile of the colors. I recommend, for the material, go for either cotton or wool. Another essential for this aesthetic is getting those linen pants for the summer. Yet again, I recommend going for white and black for these linen pants and try to really diversify the colors of your pants with your chinos. And with what I'm about to say, the next thing is actually Italian high-waisted pants. Now, you've probably seen them, but you probably never had an idea what they're called. I'll pull an image up right now. These are Italian high-waisted pants. They are essential for this aesthetic. The pleats and the little adjusters on the side make them absolutely perfect for this aesthetic. Now, jumping into arguably the next most important part is the shirts that you wear. So for those hotter summer months, I really recommend long sleeve linen shirts, short sleeve linen shirts, cotton regular t-shirts with neutral colors. Of course, you want to mess with texture a little bit too. And for those winter months, I really recommend cotton t-shirts still. Even if you just style these with pants, they look perfectly elegant. I really recommend sweater polos especially, with maybe even a little bit of ribbed texture on them. With shirts, it's very important that you just play around with texture, patterns and just with the neutral color palette in general to see what works best for you. Now, diving a bit more into the winter section, I'm now going to be going over sweaters. Now, when I talk about sweaters, I'm not talking about the one that you see every Christmas showing up to a holiday party. I'm not talking about an ugly sweater. I'm not talking about that kind of sweater in general. The sweaters I'm talking about are quarter zips, full zip downs, cardigans, sweaters that don't go by the name of sweater. So the first thing is a nice quarter zip. Quarter zips are everything with the old money aesthetic. You can use them in casual occasions or in business occasions. They're perfect for everyday wear. Now, the next most important thing is honestly the sweater polo. Sweater polos have been making their way more and more into the old money aesthetic lately, and they are perfect. Yet again, you want to be playing around with texture for your sweater polos and for your quarter zips, and maybe even go for a cable knit pattern on some of your quarter zips. Which actually brings me into the next section, which is cable knit sweaters. Cable knit sweaters are perfect to fit this aesthetic, especially the Ralph Lauren cable knit sweater with that logo on the left side. It is absolutely perfect for this aesthetic. That is the understated type of logo that you need for this aesthetic if you still want to be wearing logos. Now, the next part is where a lot of people get confused. So first, I will go over the more casual styles of jackets. So casual styles of jackets include bombers and Harrington jackets, just anything really that has a collar on it and looks semi-formal still. So my favorite out of these two is the Harrington jacket. I actually own a Ralph Lauren Harrington jacket in navy that I love so much. I love how it has a collar on it and it zips all the way down. The Harrington jacket is honestly where it's at for casual jackets, but you can also use a bomber jacket. Bomber jackets are amazing options for jackets. And there's actually a third option for jackets, which is a shirt jacket. And these are usually seen in camel, black, gray, some of the more casual neutral colors, not usually in navy and whites. But actually, here's an image of Iman Gadzhi, a very, very old money man wearing a shirt jacket. And they can be styled to be old money as possible, even though they are sort of new money, in a sense. Now, diving into the more business jackets, or the more collected and classic jackets. So the first one I want to go over is the classic suit jacket. The classic suit jacket can be styled in so many ways, and I'm by no means saying that you need to be wearing a suit and tie every single day. Okay, that's not what this aesthetic is about, in all honesty. This aesthetic doesn't even involve ties. So when I say a suit jacket, I'm meaning to wear your suit jacket casually. How I mean this is to switch up the color of your pants and your suit jacket to make it a more casual look. This can really bring out that old money aesthetic, and it looks amazing, quite frankly. Now, the same thing applies for the next type of jacket, which I'm going to talk about, which is the overcoat. You know, you don't want to be matching your pant color with your overcoat color. That's just going to look too business and too formal. You know, we're not going to a black tie event here. It's just casual old money wear. Now, just switch up the colors, play around with colors. For your overcoat, I really recommend going with wool, cashmere, camel, something very, very high quality that'll keep you warm during those winter months, because you really do not want to be wearing an overcoat in the summer. Now that's really it for the main groups of clothes here, but I just want to tell you all that tailoring is very important within this aesthetic. Like I stated before, you know, the reason why you need your clothes to fit well to make this aesthetic look good is because it was designed for people who were getting those tailored clothes and were able to afford those tailored clothes. So if you're not able to afford a tailor, the next best thing is honestly to just go into a store, whether it be H&M, Zara, just any store that'll let you try on clothes and find the size that fits you perfectly in every realm of clothes. For shirts, I know there's slim fit, oversized fit, relaxed fit, whatever you want to call it. And then there's also straight fit. Same goes with pants. There's slim fit, athletic fit, straight fit, relaxed fit. Just find whichever style and size of pant and shirt and jacket fits you best. I recommend maybe even going and getting your measurements done. So this will be an easier thing to find your suits and even just everyday clothes. Now, I know I mentioned the understatedness of the Ralph Lauren logo earlier, but another realm where you can experiment with logos, big or small, is actually shoes. So, since shoes are such a tiny part of the body, they're not actually that loud. So, this is where you can actually start playing with logos like Nike, Adidas, Under Armour. This is where you can start playing with the logos, really. Now, for more casual occasions, it is acceptable to wear bigger logos, and for more classic occasions, it is more acceptable to be wearing suede loafers or something without a logo visibly present and taking the attention off of your outfit. So there are different situations in which you should wear certain shoes, obviously, but for your shoes, you really want to be looking for quality leather or suede shoes, which you can actually find at affordable price points almost everywhere nowadays. So just look for leather and suede shoes, black and white, like I said, and those should have you covered. Now, a big part of the old money aesthetic that a lot of people miss out on is the accessories. When we think of old money, a lot of times we think of our grandfathers and how they dress, right? They don't wear necklaces, bracelets, rings, maybe the occasional watch. But the old money aesthetic nowadays, it really depends on your personal tastes and looks, what you're trying to go for here. For some men, maybe a necklace would be nice. For me personally, that's just not my thing. Some people really love to accessorize with lots of bracelets, whether they be by Cartier, Van Cleef, different kinds of high quality designer bracelets. But for some, this just looks way too tacky. Some people like to wear rings, but I really do recommend only wearing one ring, whether that be your wedding band or just some normal regular ring. Now, the biggest two accessories that you need for this aesthetic is first, a watch. Now, watches are such an understatement of wealth. Seeing a watch on somebody doesn't necessarily mean they're wealthy, but it actually could. There are many amazing watch brands that are so expensive, such as Rolex, Tag Heuer, and there are some who aren't as expensive, such as Seiko, Casio. We all know which brands are expensive and which aren't, but a watch will go a long way. Whether it's expensive or if it's not expensive, watches add to the class of your outfit so much. Now, the next piece is sunglasses. So sunglasses actually add to this aesthetic so much, especially during the summer months. For sunglasses, I really recommend going for a circle frame here. There's not a lot of other styled glasses that go great with this aesthetic, but I think especially sunglasses that look somewhat like the Ray-Ban Clubmaster are essential for this aesthetic, especially the summer months. Now, something that a lot of people miss out on when they talk about this aesthetic is hygiene. You don't want to look like $1,000,000 and smell like you just came out of the dumpster with 5 raccoons in it down the alleyway, right? So I always recommend that you wear a really good cologne. This is something that you don't want to skimp out on and get at TJ or TK Maxx. A cologne is something that you should find for everyday wear and that should make you smell better. You want to wear deodorant, of course, and you also want to make sure that you smell good with your breath especially. So I do recommend brushing your teeth every day, of course. I recommend getting a tongue scraper, and I also do recommend getting a good mouthwash to make sure your breath does not smell during the day. Now, the very last thing is honestly hairstyle. Hairstyle plays a very big and essential part in this aesthetic. If you look up the Ralph Lauren models for men's clothes, majority of them have their hair slicked back in a way that is perfect for their face shape. So what I'm recommending here is not to slick back your hair, it is to simply find your face shape and find a haircut that goes amazingly with your face shape. whether that be long, medium, or short hairstyles. There is a hairstyle that fits your face shape perfectly that will bring out this aesthetic to its maximum degree. Now, I know I didn't go over really any specific brands and price points in this video because the old money aesthetic is very subjective and it can be very cheap, mid-range, or very, very, very expensive. So in my next video, I will actually be going over the cheap budget edition for the old money aesthetic and where you can find these clothes at. I'll include links, and in the next video after that, I'll be doing mid-range old money aesthetic. And in the last video, I'll be doing that high budget old money aesthetic clothes. So make sure you stick around for those, especially if you're very passionate about this and you want to look as classy as possible at your price range. I really recommend sticking around and subscribing. With that being said, y'all have a good one.